Yo, what's up, movie buffs? Welcome to EpicPlus Movies, the podcast where we break down every adrenaline-pumping action flick, every spine-chilling horror, the drama that cuts deep, and the love stories that hit you right in the feels.
That's right. I'm Dean, and this is my partner in film.
Sierra.
We're here to give you the real talk on all things movies. No fluff, no sugarcoating. Just straight-up, honest reviews from two film fanatics who live and breathe this stuff.
You want explosive action? We got it. Creepy horror that makes you sleep with the lights on? Done. Drama that'll make you question your life choices or love stories that make you believe in romance again? Say no more. We're diving into it all.
Every week, we're bringing you our unfiltered opinions, killer insights, and a whole lot of fun as we dissect the hits, the flops, and those hidden gems you didn't even know you needed in your life. If it's epic, it's on EpicPlus Movies.
So, grab your popcorn, kick back, and roll with us as we take you on a ride through the wild world of cinema. You ready? Let's do this.
This is EpicPlus Movies, where every film is an adventure, a scare, or a love story.
All right, strap yourselves in because this time on the deep dive, we're dropping right into the middle of a war zone with this Chinese action film on YouTube.
Oh, this is going to be good.
Yeah, and don't worry, we know action movies aren't always our typical deep dive material.
Right.
But trust us on this one.
Definitely.
It's packed with enough military strategy, psychological suspense, and moral dilemmas to make your head spin.
You all send us this transcript.
And it's a wild ride, let me tell you.
From what I hear, yeah.
So we're talking Chinese special forces soldiers captured by mercenaries, a rescue mission gone sideways, and enough twists and turns to rival a pretzel factory.
It sounds like someone snuck a philosophy seminar into an action blockbuster.
Exactly, and that's what makes this one so fascinating. It's like looking through a window into another culture's understanding of war and everything that comes with it.
That's what I find so interesting about these kinds of films. Even with all the explosions and fight scenes, you can uncover these layers of cultural values, anxieties.
For sure, it's all there, just below the surface.
So the movie throws us right into the action, no messing around.
Oh, I like that.
We've got these Chinese soldiers captured, staring down some seriously bad dudes, these mercenaries.
High stakes right from the start.
Oh yeah, but even with guns pointed at them, these soldiers, they hold on to their training like it's a life raft.
That's interesting. What do you mean?
Well, they even start quoting their oaths to the Communist Party.
Really?
It's intense.
Wow, that says a lot about their mindset.
Right. Yeah.
It speaks to that deep-seated loyalty to the party, to the collective good, that seems to be so central to the Chinese military.
It's almost as if individual survival comes second to their duty.
In a way, yes.
And they're going to need that collective strength because back home, a rescue mission is being prepped.
I bet.
But here's where it gets really wild.
I live for the wild parts.
The lines between enemy and ally, they get hazy real fast.
Oh, I love that. We're talking a mercenary questioning his loyalties, another showing surprising compassion, and just when you think you've got a handle on things, pirates enter the scene.
Pirates. Seriously.
I'm telling you, this movie doesn't let up.
Wow, so it's pure chaos, but there's this strange order to it, right? Like the film is trying to tell us something about conflict itself.
100%.
It's like even in those moments of absolute mayhem, self-interest can sometimes trump ideology, leading to these really uneasy partnerships.
It makes you question who the real enemy is. And one of the most interesting characters in this whole mess, this mercenary, Scorpion.
I've heard of him. He sounds ruthless.
Oh, he is, at least at first.
Yeah.
But as the story unfolds, he becomes this pivotal figure.
What do you mean?
He's not just trying to eliminate the Chinese soldiers. It's like he's testing them,
Interesting.
pushing them to their limits to see what they're really made of.
That's a fascinating take on the whole antagonist role.
Right.
He becomes this mirror reflecting our own internal conflicts.
I like that.
Like, where do we draw the line between loyalty and survival?
And the film does not shy away from the brutal reality of war either.
No, I don't think any war film truly can.
We see these characters wrestling with fear, with desperation, the sheer mental and emotional toll of combat.
Yeah, that always stays with you long after the credits roll.
It's heavy stuff.
For sure.
There's this one scene where a mercenary, I think his name was Cha Chai,
Okay.
he's talking about how he can't even remember the faces of all the people he's killed.
Oh, wow.
He just remembers the way they looked right before.
That's chilling.
It sends shivers down your spine.
It's a stark reminder of the dehumanizing nature of war. how it can strip away our humanity, leaving even the most hardened soldiers haunted by their actions.
Exact.
The things they've done, the things they can't forget.
And amidst all the chaos, the film highlights how crucial communication is during war.
Oh, absolutely. That's key in any kind of conflict.
They show the Chinese soldiers using this thing called lantern language.
Oh, interesting.
I never even heard of it before.
It's believed to be a visual signaling system. Helps them communicate silently.
Makes sense, especially in a war zone.
You don't want to give away your position.
And they use Morse code, too.
Classic, but effective.
It just goes to show how resourceful they have to be in these life or death situations. They're using every tool at their disposal to survive.
That adaptability, it's a hallmark of their training.
It's like the whole film is a masterclass in guerrilla warfare.
Oh, tell me more about that.
You've got sniper strategies, ambushes, using the terrain to their advantage. Every move is calculated.
Wow, it's like they're playing chess with human lives.
In a way.
Yeah,
Right.
it's a powerful way to showcase the strategic thinking that underpins every action in war, every decision made.
And it makes you wonder how much of that is based in reality versus, a bit of cinematic flair.
Right. Is this an accurate portrayal of the People's Liberation Army? Or is it more about projecting a certain image of strength and capability?
Good point.
It's always worth considering the filmmaker's intent.
Absolutely.
But even knowing that, it's hard not to be impressed by the dedication of these soldiers, their commitment to each other, to their country.
Totally.
That shines through.
There's this incredibly moving scene where one of the soldiers, he's badly wounded,
Oh no.
facing impossible odds, and he tells his comrade, "We are partners and we must die together."
Wow.
Talk about powerful.
That line, it gets right to the heart of that brotherhood forged in the fires of combat.
It's a bond that transcends cultural boundaries.
Absolutely.
That willingness to sacrifice everything for your comrade, it's a concept that resonates with anyone who understands the true cost of war.
It's a universal truth, really.
Yeah, it is.
And it makes you realize that even in the darkest of places, there's still this capacity for profound human connection.
It's a powerful message.
And that brotherhood, that willingness to put your life on the line for someone else, it really makes you question.
Yeah, like what drives other characters in this film?
Yeah, exactly. The mercenaries, for example. Their motivations are much more, shall we say, transactional.
Oh yeah, I mean, early on, they're literally playing Russian roulette with one of the captured soldiers.
No way. Talk about intense.
My heart was racing. But even with these mercenaries, it's not so cut and dry,
Oh, I'm sure there are layers there.
Take Scorpion, for instance.
The one you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, he's got this whole internal struggle going on.
Really?
He despises what he's become, even admits he was betrayed by his own country, his own army.
Wow, so there's a story there.
Big time.
It's in those moments that you see a glimmer of something more, something human, behind those hardened mercenary eyes.
Totally.
He becomes more than just a villain.
It's like he's wrestling with his own demons,
Haunted by the choices he's made, the path he's taken.
And it makes you wonder what pushes someone to that point.
Right. Where does that line blur between a soldier fighting for something they believe in and a mercenary just fighting for the highest bidder?
And the film doesn't really give us any easy answers, does it?
No, and I think that's one of its strengths.
It makes you think.
It forces you to confront the uncomfortable realities of war, where even the lines between good and evil can get incredibly blurry.
Absolutely.
And just when you think you're starting to understand the players in this deadly game, the film throws another curveball.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot about this part.
What happens?
2 of the hostages vanished.
They just disappear.
Gone, poof.
Wow, that changes everything.
It adds a whole new layer of suspense, right?
Readily, the stakes just got even higher.
Now, these missing hostages become bargaining chips.
Oh, so they're caught in the middle of this power struggle
100%.
between the Chinese soldiers, the mercenaries, and let's not forget those pirates lurking in the shadows.
Don't remind me about the pirates. They were wild.
They add an element of unpredictability, wouldn't you say?
It's insane how fast things shift.
Like a roller coaster?
1 minute, Scorpion's the enemy. The next, he's providing cover fire for the Chinese soldiers.
It's almost Shakespearean, the way these alliances ebb and flow.
It's like everyone's playing a deadly game of chess, and the rules keep changing.
And in the middle of all that chaos, it's self-preservation that takes over.
Yeah, survival trumps everything.
Ideology, loyalty, even basic human decency sometimes.
It's a fight for their lives.
And it shows you that in these extreme situations, the enemy of your enemy can very quickly, even if temporarily, become your friend.
And talk about a moral dilemma.
Oh yeah, this is where it gets really interesting.
These Chinese soldiers, they're faced with an impossible choice.
What do you mean?
Do they accept help from Scorpion?
A man who's done some pretty terrible things.
It's an understatement.
Or do they risk losing their comrades, their friends?
There's no easy way out.
It's a classic moral quandary, the kind that philosophers have debated for centuries.
Do the ends justify the means, even if it means making a deal with the devil, so to speak?
It forces us to confront those uncomfortable gray areas of morality where there are no right answers.
And the way the film builds this tension, it's masterful.
Yeah, it's a slow burn.
You're on the edge of your seat the entire time, wondering how they're going to get out of this situation.
If they even get out of it at all.
Right. And who, if anyone, will make it out alive?
It's in those moments of uncertainty, those life or death decisions, that the true nature of these characters is revealed.
Absolutely.
And it's those insights into the human condition that elevate this film beyond just another action flick.
It's a story that stays with you, that makes you think.
It's a reminder that sometimes the most compelling battles are fought not on the battlefield, but within the human heart.
It's like the whole film has been building up to this moment, you know?
Yeah, it's all been leading to this, hasn't it?
Their lives, the mission, everything hinges on this impossible choice.
And the film, it doesn't cop out or anything?
No, not at all.
It doesn't give us easy answers tied up in a neat little bow.
Which is probably more realistic, if we're being honest.
Exactly. War is messy. Morality is even messier.
And this film, it makes you feel that. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. And that's what makes engaging with stories like this so important, I think.
100%.
They challenge us.
They really do.
They force us to confront these complex truths about ourselves.
And the choices we make when the stakes are high, when there's no clear right answer.
It's about those gray areas we were talking about earlier.
I'm not going to spoil the ending for our listener.
Right, of course.
But the way it ends,
Yeah.
it leaves you with this weight.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean.
This lingering sense of the true cost of war, that it's about so much more than just casualties and battles won or lost.
It gets under your skin.
Exactly. It gets under your skin, it gets into your head, and it stays with you.
It's the emotional and psychological toll that's often overlooked.
And this film, it doesn't let you forget about that, not for a second.
I think that's one reason this particular film, it hits differently.
How so?
Well, because we're seeing it from the perspective of Chinese soldiers.
That's true. We don't often get that perspective.
Right. In Western media, they're often portrayed as this kind of enigmatic, almost unknowable force.
Yeah, just faceless soldiers, basically.
But here we see their humanity, their doubts, their fears.
It makes them relatable, even if you don't agree with their cause or methods.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what makes the film so powerful, I think.
You know, it's funny how we started this deep dive thinking we were going to be talking about one thing.
Right. Like, we expected a straight-up action movie analysis.
Exactly.
But look where we ended up.
Talk about a roller coaster ride.
From deciphering Secret Lantern language to dissecting moral dilemmas.
We covered it all.
We really went deep on this one. And I think it's a testament to the power of storytelling.
Oh, for sure.
That even something as seemingly straightforward as an action film can hold so much depth, so much to unpack and explore.
It's like a Trojan horse for these bigger conversations about war, about humanity, about the choices we make.
And the consequences of those choices.
One thing that really got me, and I've already alluded to this, but
Yeah, what was it?
it's how the film seamlessly blends these heart-stopping action sequences.
Which are incredible, by the way.
Oh yeah, the cinematography is top-notch.
The way they capture the chaos and intensity of those battles is just wow.
But then it shifts gears.
Yeah.
And you're hit with these moments of quiet reflection, these introspective scenes that make you question everything.
The juxtaposition of those two elements, it's really masterful.
It keeps you on the edge of your seat 1 minute, then makes you think, makes you feel the next.
It's a roller coaster for the mind and the heart.
Perfectly said. So if our listener is looking for a film that will stay with them,
Something that will challenge their perceptions, make them think differently.
this is it, hands down.
100%. This film, it's a wild ride from start to finish.
And on that note, I think we've done our due diligence for this deep dive.
I'd say so. We covered the battlefield, the moral minefield, and everything in between.
Because ultimately, it's not just about understanding the tactics of war.
Right, about understanding the people who wage it.
Their motivations, their struggles, their capacity for both great and terrible things.
It's about recognizing the complexities, the nuances, the gray areas.
Because the world isn't black and white, no matter how much we might want it to be.
And as this film so powerfully demonstrates, sometimes the most difficult battles are fought not on a distant battlefield, but within the depths of our own hearts and minds.
So until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.